Good Sunday morning to you, St. John's. I'm Allison Pace, and I'm here in the Godly Playroom. I hope that we have a lot of you little people joining me this morning. I miss you, but I'm so happy to be able to connect with you through your home computer or your iPad or Facebook or however you're tuning in. We have a parable to tell this morning, but I also wanted to share with your parents something very helpful to have at home during this Lenten season. This book, Stories of God at Home, is a godly play approach to sharing the wonderful stories that are embedded in our scripture. Stories of God at Home can be purchased on the Godly Play Foundation website. And you can Google that easily. It's Godly Play Foundation. And for a limited time during this unusual time at home, they have discounted this book along with a do-it-yourself at-home kit to help prepare for Easter. There are kits that are wonderful activities for you to teach your way through this season. As we approach Easter and throughout the season of Lent. This is a wonderful supplement to your children's formation and Christian education, and I highly encourage you to enjoy it and enjoy the discount and really experience the magic of godly play in your own home. For the past several weeks, we have been working on parables. And as the children can tell you, a parable is a gift. It's a gift given to us long before we were born. And parables are stories that teach us something very important. Parables are usually in gold boxes. And they're in gold boxes because they are treasures. And like I said earlier, they are gifts. Sometimes it's hard to get into a parable. There's a lid on it, and sometimes it's hard to get that lid open. But we can come back to them because parables are always there for us, whether we are 3 years old or 13 years old or 30 years old. And the parable we're going to tell today isn't in a gold box. And I wonder why it's not in a gold box. The box is very deep. But it's not gold, it's an unfinished wooden. The wood is very beautiful. But the reason why it's not gold is because it's not a parable told by Jesus Christ. But it is a parable that helps us understand and experience his teachings. So let's see what's inside. Oh. I wonder what this could be. Well, it's brown. It's the color of sand almost. Let's lay it out and see what we have to work with. What does this look like? Y'all see okay? Let's see. Let's push this back so y'all can see all of the parts to the story. Does it look like a flour tortilla? No, it's light brown, kind of like the color of sand. Maybe it's the desert. A lot of our stories take place in the desert, don't they? Let's see what else is in the box. That looks like a little bucket. Wow, interesting. These are the last items in our box. They're gold strands. I'll put them down. Maybe we'll come to use them later. These are all the pieces of our story. To experience the parable, I think we need to go ahead and begin. The desert is a dangerous place to be. There's no water in the desert. It gets very hot during the day and very cold at night. And it's a dangerous place to be because it's easy to get lost. When you go to sleep at night, you wake up and the winds have shifted the sand so that the landscape looks different every morning. People go into the desert for great journeys. There's a lot of uncertainty in the desert. People don't go into the desert unless they absolutely have to. Long, long ago, people traveled through the desert. And in this story, they came across a very deep well. And the well went down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of yards. And there was crystal clear water at the bottom of the well. People were very thirsty when they were walking through the desert, and they longed for water. When people came to this well, they walked around it and around it and around it, and they looked longingly down into the bottom of the well, but didn't know how to get the water. And they kept on walking. Then one day, a man on his journey through the desert stopped by the well. And he looked down into the well and he saw that there was water, but he didn't know how to get it. So he took his time. He wasn't in a hurry. And he paid attention. He paid attention to the things that were around him. One of those things was a small wooden bucket. So he kept the bucket on the side of the well and took some more time. He walked around the well and he paid attention. He paid attention to these strange little golden strands. But what could he do with one little golden strand? Then he noticed there's another golden strand. I wonder what this golden strand could be for. It's not very helpful right now. But he took his time and he paid attention. And then one day he realized that he could use these golden strands that had always been there. They had been patiently waiting for him too. So he tied a couple together. And he took his time and he paid attention. And then he did something kind of like this. He put all the golden strands together that had been there all along. But this time he knew what he was going to do with them. It got longer and longer and longer. But it took time. It took a lot of time. So the man was patient. And he continued to work hard. It was hard work. And there they were, golden strands were put together. How could that help him now? He got the bucket and remembered what would help him. And he remembered about the water. And although it took a very long time, he was finally able to drop the bucket down in the bottom of the well to reach the water. And when he pulled the bucket out of the well, the water was so cold, and it was so refreshing, and it was so life-giving that it changed the man forever. Now, there are two endings to this story. The first ending is that the man left the bucket on the side of the well with the long gold strands so that other people might understand how to get the water out and enjoy the same life-giving, refreshing water that that man had found. But the other part, or the other choice for the ending of this story, is that the man decided to leave the bucket and the gold strands right where he had found them, so that anybody who came by could figure it out for themselves. And when they finally found the water, it would be that refreshing and rewarding and cool and life-changing. Which ending would you choose? There's not a right or wrong answer, but I wonder, which ending do you like best? I wonder if you've ever felt like you've been in a situation that was kind of like the desert. I wonder if you've ever wanted something as much as that man wanted that water. I wonder what this bucket could be like. I wonder what these gold strands could be like. I wonder if any of us are like that man. I wonder who else will come along and hear the story of the deep well and take their time and pay attention to what it's really trying to teach us. That's our Godly Play lesson for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. for Children's Compline in your PJs. Have a wonderful Sunday, and God bless.